Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. The Islamic State militant group has named Abu Musab al-Banawi as a new leader of the Boko Haram sect in Nigeria. Al-Banawi was previously a spokesman for the Nigerian-based terrorist group. He succeeds the group's former leader, Abubakar Shekau. Last year, the Nigerian military claimed to have killed the Boko Haram leader, but he later reissued videos denying the claim. Nigerian authorities are yet to comment on the latest report, but last year, Boko Haram pledged allegiance to ISIS. In June this year, however, U.S. officials said Boko Haram has no major known link to Islamic State militants. The group, whose name means Western education is forbidden, has killed more than 20,000 people and displaced more than 2.4 million others. The United Nations says Nigeria accounts for over 70% of over 500 million illegal weapons circulating in West Africa. In a statement issued, the UN raised alarm over the amount of illegal small arms and light weapons in the country. The UN said the country is flooded with illegal weapons, which have found its way into unauthorized hands that are threatening the existence of the country, as well as lives and properties of the people. The country, which is still battling Islamic sect Boko Haram, has been plagued by recent kidnappings by suspected militants, attack on oil installations in the Niger Delta, and a rise in herdsmen and farmer clashes. There has also been a rise in armed robbery attacks in some states in the country. Ibrahim Idris, the Inspector General of Nigeria's police force, has met with officials to discuss issues affecting them on the line of duty. He was speaking at a town hall meeting in Lagos State, Southwest Nigeria, at the state's police command. The police boss emphasized the need for officers to continuously dialogue with the public to resolve disputes. He also encouraged the use of social media as a tool in curbing or reducing the crime rates in the state.
We cannot afford to watch our children become victims of drug peddlers. We must protect our children from every exploitation. And this is not just the responsibility of the police, but for every member of the society. I call on you to come together either as individuals or as community development associations and work with your communities. I will encourage you to use all means available to bring topical issues to our attention. In these days of social media and online platforms, you can reach the police via Facebook, WhatsApp, and Twitter, SMS, etc. I have already directed Division Police officers to make available their phone numbers and those of their subordinates to members of the public. The Commissioner of Police will ensure this directive is strictly adhered to. I call upon you to work with the police to adopt a problem-solving approach to local and communal issues, partnering with the police in deciding local policing priorities and ensure respect for and protection of fundamental human rights. Let us work together to deliver quality police service to all Nigerians.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari says his administration is making efforts to stabilize the Niger Delta region in order to regularly supply gas to the West African sub-region. He was speaking while addressing State House correspondents during his visit by the new president of Benin Republic, Patrice Talon. President Buhari said his government would achieve this through the infrastructure put in place in the region for the benefit of other member countries, including Benin Republic. Nigeria currently supplies electricity to Benin Republic. However, the electricity supply has dropped recently due to recurring attacks on oil and gas facilities by pipeline vandals. In a bid to stop any threat of secession, the Nigerian military says it has deployed troops and equipment to the Niger Delta region. A group known as the Adakaburu Avengers had threatened to declare independence on Monday this week, but said it shelved the plan after the intervention of leaders, including former President Goodluck Jonathan. Now, following that threat, members of the Nigerian army were sent to Bayelsa State in the region. The Adakaburu Avengers are not the only militant group threatening the peace of the region. Another militant group, the Niger Delta Avengers, has consistently carried out attacks on different oil and gas facilities in the region. Attacks by militant groups in the Niger Delta has pushed crude production in Nigeria to 30-year lows. Niger's former president, Goodluck Jonathan, on Wednesday met with President Muhammadu Buhari in his office at the Aso Villa in Abuja. The meeting lasted for about 20 minutes. This will be the fourth time President Jonathan would be visiting President Buhari. Now, media reports suggest that the meetings may be connected to the recurring pipeline attacks in the Niger Delta region. Ex-President Jonathan hails from Bayelsa State, which is a state in the Niger Delta region. He was defeated by President Buhari in Niger's tightly contested 2015 presidential elections. President Muhammadu Buhari's economic management team have met with top economists and financial experts in order to find ways to tackle the country's economic recession. The meeting held in Abuja was presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. The Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udoma, told State House correspondents that the team was in the middle of consultations to develop a midterm economic framework. Nigeria is facing its worst economic crisis in years. The country, which is Africa's biggest economy, depends on oil sales for about 95% of its foreign reserves. However, the fall in crude oil prices globally has hammered the Nigerian economy. Abdulmumun Jibrin, who is the former chairman of the House Committee on Appropriation, has appeared before the disciplinary panel of the All Progressives Congress. Jibrin's appearance comes after a letter signed by the party summoned him to the panel. In the letter written to Jibrin, the national leadership of the APC said Jibrin has brought dishonor to the party due to the public nature of his allegations. Jibrin started slamming allegations of corruption against Dogara and other members of the House leadership when he was removed as the chairman of the Appropriations Committee last month. Jibrin had on Monday this week submitted a petition at 4 major anti-corruption agencies against the Speaker of the House, Yakubu Dogara, and 11 others.
There is nothing like passing any judgment against any member of the party. We only play our role as the umpire in this matter to see how we can create some atmosphere of peace and unity among our members. And I was reading today in your paper that we call him to discipline him. To discipline him on what? You know, whatever happens in the House of Representatives or indeed even in the Senate, under the Constitution and their rules, they are immune. But when certain things go off course, the party needs to call its members to know how best to unite any feuding members. And that is exactly what we did. What we did was actually, we heard from him. We earlier heard from the Speaker, but because it was not in the newspapers, like we just went and published, nobody knew we held a meeting with the Speaker. And I want to say that what we discussed, honestly speaking, was to get a better brief, because we have to be carried along. They are our members. We should know from them directly what is really going on, so that we can see if there is a way we can handle the situation without necessarily making it a town square dance. The discussions are not concluded. He too said that it's an ongoing consultation. We'll continue to consult. We're not done with them. We sat with the Speaker. We've just finished sitting with him, and we'll continue to sit with them. The Speaker probably next, and then if the need arises, we'll call him also. We'll sit until we get to a stage where we can sit with both of them on the same table.
The National Assembly of Niger has announced Ataba Sani Omolori as its new clerk. Sani Omolori's appointment by the National Assembly Service Commission takes effect from August 15, 2016. Before his appointment, he was in acting capacity for a while. He takes over from Salisu Maikasuwa, who has been on terminal leave since May this year. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the nomination of 6 new commissioners for the Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC. Among those nominated is Sunday Dare, who is the spokesperson of former governor of Lagos State, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He was appointed as the Southwest Executive Commissioner of the NCC. The nominations are, however, subject to confirmation by the Nigerian Senate. A faction of Niger's main opposition party, led by Ahmed McCarthy, has announced members of the PDP's National Convention Committee. This comes despite a court ruling declaring the McCarthy leadership illegal. A federal high court had ruled that the rightful chairman of the PDP is Ali Modu Sheriff. Now, the faction says it will go ahead with the National Convention scheduled to take place in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, on August 17, 2016. Health officials in Niger have emphasized the need for nursing mothers and caregivers to cultivate the habit of infant and young child breastfeeding. They say the habit will help combat malnutrition and other related conditions that lead to increasing rates of infant and young child illnesses and mortality. This comes as Nigeria marks the 2016 World Breastfeeding Week.
Breast milk is free. It's the first immunization of a child. You don't need to go to market and buy breast milk. Mothers should breastfeed their children, and then exclusively for 6 months. There will be no diarrhea. There will be no, the children will not fall sick. And it is better for the country.
The breast milk contains all the water that is needed by the baby. As we heard earlier on, the breast milk contains almost 92% of water. So why are you giving water to that baby? I just want to quickly say at this point in time that exclusive breastfeeding is so important that this has been taken up by every country. And as we are celebrating this World Breastfeeding Week in Nigeria, over 170 other countries are also celebrating the World Breastfeeding Week. This all happens every year from the 1st of August to the 7th of August. And that is to tell you that indeed the world looks up onto mothers to completely give breast milk to their children, as I said, from the age of 0 to 6 months of life.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at why the CBN is telling Nigerians to be cautious. Stay with us.
Corruption not in my country.
I'm going to how work.
Oh, correct, Oga.
What is it that you are doing?
Oga, they come on the part now. Make we go sell for.
Oga, na correct kuza be this so. Oga Titus and him boys them. They do am. They will come out the original parts, sell them, make plenty kuza.
No wonder our customers bring the generator back to our workshop because they're bad. And not because of stuff.
Now because they overuse the generator. Plus say NEPA no they give them electricity.
Before I open my eye, Makachuku look at my talk in the heaven. Replace this original generator parts back inside this generator of my customer. In short, before we do am, front jump. 1, front jump. 1, 2, 1. Stealing of generator parts or changing of original parts to a fake one. That is the corruption. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Nigeria's central bank has urged Nigerians both at home and abroad to beware of unregistered international money transfer operators. The CBN said the warning became necessary because of the activities of some unregistered IMTOs whose modes of operation are detrimental to the Nigerian economy. A statement signed by the Apex Bank said all financial service operators in Nigeria are required to be duly licensed in order to protect both the customers and the financial system, as well as to ensure the credibility of financial transactions. The CBN said all licensed international money transfer operators are required to remit foreign currency to their respective agent banks in Nigeria for disbursement in Naira to the beneficiaries. According to the bank, the foreign currency proceeds are to be sold to bureau de change operators for retail to end users. The Naira rose to 310 against the United States dollar at the parallel market. The Naira has been under a persistent pressure as dollar scarcity continues to weigh on the local currency at both the parallel and the interbank forex markets. Economic and financial experts say that inadequate forex liquidity at the interbank market was taking a toll on the parallel market. Analysts had predicted that the Naira would weaken further against the US dollar this week, owing to limited dollar supply. Oil prices on Wednesday maintained the benchmark of above $40 per barrel. U.S. crude was at $40.21 per barrel, while international Brent crude was trading at $42.33 per barrel. Despite the slightly higher prices on Wednesday, oil market data implies bearish market conditions. Industry data shows that the global oil rig count for new production edged up in June for the first time in 2016. South Sudan's President Salva Kiir has fired 6 ministers allied to longtime rival Riek Machar. This move will definitely widen the political rift in the world's newest nation and draw threats of more fighting. The United Nations on Tuesday said about 60,000 people have fled South Sudan since violence broke out in the past 3 weeks. The latest crisis in the young country began when troops loyal to President Salva Kiir and longtime rival Riek Machar clashed in the capital of Juba, leaving over 300 people dead. Both sides agreed to a peace deal last year and set up a unity government, but the ceasefire broke down several times and Machar left the capital last month, demanding an international force intervene to keep their forces apart. A Boeing 777, which belongs to Emirates Airlines, has crash-landed at the Dubai International Airport. In a statement issued on Wednesday, the Dubai government confirmed this latest development. Emirates Airline reported that there were about 282 passengers and 18 crew members on board when it crash-landed. Pictures that were posted online shows thick black plume of smoke rising from the top of a burning plane. All passengers on board were vacated safely. However, a firefighter was reported to have been killed in the incident. The airline was flying from India to Dubai. Niger's football squad are stuck in U.S. Atlanta because of a problem with the payment for flights to Rio, Brazil. The team is expected to arrive Brazil less than 36 hours before its opening game scheduled to hold on Friday against Japan in the Manu Stadium. According to media reports now, the money paid by the sports ministry for the charter flight did not hit the airline's account on Tuesday, so they refused to fly the team to Brazil. The team was originally scheduled to fly out of Atlanta for Rio last Friday, but could not do that as the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports failed to provide the tickets to enable them travel out of America as a group. At the last minute now, NFF officials decided to charter a plane to fly the team directly to Brazil, but till now the team is still stranded in the United States. Niger's table tennis star Funke Oshonaike will lead our team Nigeria at the opening ceremony of the Rio Olympic Games. The event begins on Friday, August 5th at the Maracanã Stadium in Brazil. This will be the 6th Olympic Games Oshonaike will be competing in. She's also the assistant team captain to Mikel Obi, who at the weekend was also named as captain of the football team. The World Anti-Doping Agency WADA was on the receiving end of scorching criticism from the IOC. The IOC had urged WADA to restore its reputation over the timing of its response to Russian doping scandal escalated. WADA chief Craig Reddy was grilled by the IOC for failing to act on information of widespread doping in Russia until it became public through the media last year. The scandal has led to dozens of Russian athletes from being banned from the Olympic Games, which begin on Friday. Well, that's it on News Now. We thank you very much for joining us. I am Thelma Okuru.